They say too much of a good thing can be bad. Is that true for everything though? Maybe something I've done every day for years now is actually doing me more harm than good. Let's talk. Well, let's go back to where it began. When I dropped out of university, I knew I needed to do something big to turn my life around. After a long time of being glued to my games console, feeling quite uninspired, and seeing how many Oreos I could fit into my mouth, I quickly learnt how to use a camera, how to edit, and how to run a business, and I loved it. It gave me something to really focus on, and for once I had a passion to follow. I suddenly wanted to get really good at everything. I wanted to learn more and just keep improving in any area that I could. I started watching motivational videos every day, listening to podcasts whilst driving, and buying books on things like mindfulness and how to be a better person. I developed some really good habits, like going to the gym, stretching, and even now I'm trying to study another language. I also live in quite a minimalist apartment, so that kind of helps me focus on my goals. I don't have too much stuff around me to distract me. All of this in the pursuit of being better. Even just going through those right now, they sound great, but maybe sometimes it can go too far. At times though, I feel guilty about the small things like watching a show or even waking up a little bit later than I usually would. I feel like I need to keep bettering myself, and if I don't, I'm just wasting time. But sometimes it's really hard. You go to bed at night with the best intentions for the next day, and then you find yourself in the same position the day after wondering what the hell happened. You were supposed to be so productive, and it just kind of got away from you. Maybe I'm being too hard on myself, or is this the best mindset to have? Or does it lead to never feeling content? I ask myself questions like this quite a lot, to be honest. I'm sure I'm not the only one though. So this is probably the area that has changed the most for me over the last few years. When I was like a teenager, I would always go for the easy option, the one that provided me with short-term happiness. I would never even consider doing the thing that was maybe a bit more boring or would take me a longer time, even if I knew that the long-term benefits would be massive. So two things happened which kind of changed everything. I got into the gym and I loved it. I saw progress with my body which I never thought was possible. I knew it would take time, but suddenly I was willing to go after something which I knew would take years. The same thing kind of happened with filmmaking. I just became addicted to it really, and when I saw myself improve, I just kept going with it until it became my job. Seeing what happens when you dedicate yourself to a new skill or an act of self-improvement is incredible. It fills you with a confidence that if you take action on something, you can really achieve it. Eli Cohen once said, "Without continuous personal development, you are now all that you will ever become." Now that quote not only motivates me, but it scares the hell out of me too. The thought that I will always stay the same as I am now forever really does scare me. And that's not because I'm unhappy with myself or anything like that. It's just when I think about my future self, I want that person to be really talented and have lots of really good skills. And I also know that to be that guy, I need to take action. Now it's easy to look at people like Tony Robbins and Gary Vee and think that they never take a moment to relax. Or to listen to Jordan Peterson and get wrapped up in the idea that you have to be an efficient machine. And if you ever slack, you'll fall behind and never achieve your dreams. Now don't get me wrong, I think that those guys are pushing a really good message. And I do believe that having a good mindset, working really hard, and trying to be a better person is the way to go. But I don't think that you should ever feel guilty for hanging out with some friends or watching a film or maybe playing a game. So there is definitely a really big movement right now for self-development. All in all, I think that is a really good thing. I just think that if it ever becomes too much, just take a break. The chances are that you're still on the right path. I'm sure I'm not the only one out there that feels this way. If you can relate, then feel free to leave a comment below, that'd be awesome. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it, and I will see you soon.